Oh, here we go. This is the one most important characteristics of Java that is object-oriented object wheels. This is different from the procedural programming. And here we go. What is in let's quickly to explain to you. That is, we just construct some blocks that has the formula, a formal, regular structure, and they have different. I think it is just a model that we can then basically based on this the prototype, then we can add change and from this model, and so that we can have a clear structure that what is oriented object means that all of the operations are oriented to the object, and we have class and then inheritance, so that we have different blocks, different class, different objects, so that we can use this. And if we are using the procedural programming means what that we just statement that there are some assign some attribute to this or this thing like color is to black and blah 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 blah. So I think it's what the aim is that we have clear logic and we can reuse. So that's a formal expression means all the conjunction of which structured collection of class. Structured collection class, including instance called slugs or comparison which are static collections of classes. And these classes product instance called objects communicate with each other using methods. Communicate with each other using methods. You have a class. What is the object? It's a fundamental entity in Java. Can be the nodes in specifications and the fundamental entity or attributes, properties, statements describe or quantifies operations like method or attributes like some some attributes, some description and operation is method do some to change some so that to change some attributes. What is the class? Class means what? And it's defined by a class, object defined by class. So class defines the attributes and operations are exposed to one define a kind of object, or in other words, define a data type. Oh, this is very important. The class aims to define a data type that may have different data byte and it contains several information like attributes and basic method. It's very important that object is the instance of a particular class. An object is the fundamental entity in Java and also it is an instance of a particular class. In the example so far, all the code went to main. It's not a object called a single class with the main method. A single class with the main method. Okay, not every code went to main. Just to reuse this class to object. So because a single class with the only single class with the main method, how does our change how we can split code between different objects? Like these are several attributes and method and things for to try to do. And the real world is the object that is describe function and can describe your object means what that car, people, and mobile phone, fields and mobile phones, and then background like the fields and operations. So it's defined by the clear logic that we have classes that is the object defined by the class, and so that object have different two types of information. One type is attributes that description, the other is the operations that means we have method to change some information. Whereas it's very important, I think, so that there's several very important interesting example to show the difference between for and the product procedural programming. The specification shifts onto a graphic user interface. Scratch the code and when the user clicks save and the shape, oh, this is the aim, what we should do, what we would do. The shape will rotate clockwise 330 and play some particular shape that, oh, the first thing that if we use the procedural programming, that is, first we can define different GUI shapes, and the other thing that if we clock it, then it will clockwise 330 degrees, and then by the particular music, which means that play MP3 song that is to the creator that fulfills what we'll do, rotate, playground, but with the oriented or object oriented, we can insert that we define a class that shape and then rotate and then play the games so that when we in create object we can override the shape and override the playground, play sound, so that we can reuse. And what is the things in this program? What are objects are things or nouns? So here we go to this die. So verbs are indicated the action. Nouns means rotate, like slots, and then additional specification when if the specification changed, still work as the code of application need to change. If shape is not a random, if else, and then play so that. But, however, pleasant to change, so we don't need to touch any code we have already, only to update. In order to account for variation in Node, we need to add some new argument. Just add some new argument, like how much degrees, but with a new attribute, we can just say it. We can just to change the rotate code. But if we do something in the procedural process and programming, oh, I think a little difficult because when after the if else, then rotate offset and rotate. When shape is done, we'll calculate the center point based on the rectangle rotate. Parameter and argument, there are two different argument there. So that is the rules for rotation simply put in the as no other shape affects all the shapes, all they are be divided into different goals so that we can summarize. I think it's very important. This is a very example that we have changed a lot and we don't have a clear mind about the logic, but with the approach we can define different groups and we can reuse. So, for classism to revenue or that's if else we don't need if else or something else. There are some demo. And this is the introduction to the abstraction and inheritance. Introducing abstraction and inheritance. Oh, I think it's abstraction and inheritance is we will learn in later class. Means what abstraction and heritage we can they are common, so abstraction inheritance after abstract out the common, put the common code in sphere, which means that we don't need to have to repeat. So save, rotate, and therefore each of the class extends the superclass extends has a functionality that also a child has to the father here and the child. All this shit gets a generic method without any additional code. Skill inherits from shape. But how does this help? How does it help this? So we can just reuse the code and make it easier, less code, and have a clear logic. Specializing random vehicle, but we just need add something else specialization. So we just need method overriding. That means redefine something. And the UI has its own object, has special random to playground, rotate, and I think what we should do first is that we can clearly recognize what is the function of this as this project. I mean that rotate what and in which condition we should do something. So that I think when we shape a circle and then we can shape class. So now there are some class, and I think it's a little simple. Inheritance and abstraction. And we should need more practice to understand well.